Welcome to the Not So Secret Lives podcast. I'm your host, Shan.
And I'm your host, Karina.
And today we have a very special guest. We are on with Dr. Becky Whetstone. Thank you so much for coming on our show today. We are so happy to have you.
It's truly a great pleasure to talk about relationships anytime. But I am thrilled, especially to be on your show.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. We are so honored to have you. This is what we do. I mean, we basically talk about relationships all the time. We don't know a damn thing about a damn thing. And here we are.
Well, that's 100% one of my phrases.
Yeah.
One of my phrases that I write about a lot is, people don't know a damn thing about how to have a healthy relationship. That's kind of one of my, go-to phrases because it's true. It's true.
It is true. Nobody knows what they're doing. I don't care who you are. I don't care how perfect you think your relationship is. I was actually having this conversation with a friend last night who was telling me that she's going through some struggles with her husband and they started going to therapy. And she was like, we just have this perfect marriage, but then he does these things that piss me off. And I was like, okay, you can have two people who are so perfect for each other, but they're two totally different people. Like you can't make two people conform into the same person. I'm like, so I'm so happy that you guys are going to therapy. It's amazing.
Yes. I don't believe her when she says he's perfect. I know.
Yeah. Nobody is.
We understand he's a terribly flawed man.
Oh, clearly, aren't they all? Are we all?
Clearly, she still has at least one rose lens on her glasses, right? I mean,
100%. Yes.
And that will pop out sooner or later.
Oh, I totally agree. Like I'm very realistic when it comes to relationships. Like I understand that everyone's going to have their own thing and that I don't have to like that and I don't have to be with that person, period, the end. I don't have to make a square peg fit into a round hole. That's not something I have to do in my life.
I'm so happy that in this day and age, people are wising up to all this. Because see, when I was in my 20s and out there dating and looking for men, I was more of a conformist. Like, oh, what do you want me to be? You want me to be a gourmet cook? I will pretend like I'm a gourmet cook. Oh, you want me to go camping with you every weekend? Let's go. I pretend I just turned into whatever the man wanted me to be. What a fool I was.
That was this girl right here.
That was me for a very, very long time.
That's the chameleon.
And I was so unhappy.
You were the chameleon in the dating world. Whatever leaf you were sitting on, you turned that color.
Oh, yeah.
I totally did. Like perfectly too.
Oh yeah.
Until I was so sad that I was like, oh, this is not me.
Yeah. I did it in my marriage. I mean, I think we're all guilty of it at some point to try to please our significant other, to try to be a better significant other. But I did it for years, in my marriages, and I was like, this is awful.
I would do it with guys that I barely started dating.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That was this girl right here.
I've got a confession to make, and I probably shouldn't make it because you might change your opinion of me, but I didn't burp on my husband until after we were married.
I did not toot the whole 10 years I was married.
That's okay. That does not change my opinion about you at all.
Not even the slightest.
I'm still the same way. I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom on the other side of the house so that you don't know.
I need to go to the store really quick.
Oh, in my 20s, no man I was ever with ever knew I went number 2, ever.
Oh, no, because we're ladies and that doesn't happen.
If it was a weekend trip, I held it all weekend,
Me too. I've done that before. And then I get home and I'm like, oh my God, I feel so sick.
Oh,
how we do.
It's like an anxiety thing.
It didn't take us long to digress, did it?
No. Welcome to the Not So Secret Lives podcast.
This is what we do.
Yeah, we just talk about our biggest flaws and then we laugh about it and it's great. Then we try to learn from it, but I don't know how much learning we actually do, but here we are. Okay. So you actually have a book that just came out, right?
I do.
All right. Actually, before we get into everything, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and about your book?
Oh, I love.
And I do have a list of questions for you.
Okay. Well, I'm from Arkansas. And
I can tell
I
you have
lived a lot of
that amazing accent.
thank you. There's people in our state much worse than I am, believe it or not.
I
I
love
I
it.
grew up here, but when I got married to my kids' dad, I moved to San Antonio, Texas. Okay, and lived there for 25 years,
Okay.
and raised my kids there, and my daughter is still there, and I go there all the time because
Okay.
it's like my second home.
Oh,
But
I love
I
it.
love San
from
Antonio.
childhood, I was obsessed with relationships, y'all. I mean, for some people, I think their subconscious mind, starts nudging them early in a certain direction. And I kind of decided I wanted to be an advice columnist because I was always reading all the advice columns of the day, and I was always like, what
I
are
love
they
that.
going to say? You know, and then I decided, well, I want to be that person. So my secret goal was to replace dear Abby when she passed away. Uh, so I went
Uh-huh.
and got a degree in journalism. But then I became a housewife. I screwed it all up by becoming a housewife. I hated being a housewife. I hated it.
I did too.
And
I was not good
that
at it.
marriage to my kid's dad was, complete, pretty much a disaster because a few months into our
Yeah.
marriage, he turned his back on me and wouldn't come out and play with me anymore. He was my dream perfect
Oh,
husband in the beginning. He loved me so much.
Mm.
No one had ever loved me so much. And then he freaking slammed the emotional door in my face. So I spent 5 years trying to get him to love me, and I couldn't get him to love me. So we hit a marriage crisis. And so we went to the marriage
yeah.
therapist, and the marriage therapist said, I can't help you. If Becky doesn't want to work on the marriage, there's nothing I can do. Y'all go ahead and go
Yeah.
separate or do whatever. And if you change your mind about working on your marriage, come back. So we went to this divorce, and it ended up being super nasty. We made lots of stupid mistakes. Our children paid a
Mhm.
price for it. So all these years, it just bugged me. Why couldn't that marriage therapist help us? Was there something that could have been done? And then I went and worked for the newspaper, and I started writing columns. I started, becoming the relationship guru of San Antonio. I was writing a column in the newspaper about relationships. I was on the local TV
love.
show. I was on the talk radio shows, and I developed
That's
myself, and
amazing.
and it was hugely popular. And then everybody started griping that I didn't have credentials. I was just a person who was obsessed with relationships. And I would say funny things like, well, not every great master gardener has to be like a botanist,
So true.
what some of the hosts of the shows would go, look, I'm probably not going to be able to keep you on unless you get some credentials. So he goes, even get some mail order credentials. And I was like, you know
Oh my
what?
gosh.
No, if Becky's going to do this, she's going to do it right. So this is kind of what forced me into graduate school. To
I love that for
marriage
you.
and family therapy. And I got in there, and I was always afraid it was going to ruin me. I thought it's going to make me lose my sense of humor. It's going to make me be dry like a family doctor or something,
Yeah. And that edge that you
and
have.
not tell it like it is anymore.
Mhm.
But it didn't ruin me. It deepened me. It made me understand things
That's
at a very
amazing.
deeper level. And so when I was in graduate school, I had all these research opportunities, and so every research opportunity I got, I started researching marriage crisis. Could they have done anything for me? There was no Google back. I don't know why I'm doing my fingers like that, but
Oh, I love it. We're very flamboyant around here. You fit right in,
I was
honey.
sitting there in the library looking up the research and stuff, and my jaw's just hitting the ground. And I found a bunch of academic books about the subject, and they had wonderful information in there. So I was like, why don't they teach this to us? Because they didn't teach it to
Yeah.
us in the marriage and family therapy program. It was never mentioned what to do when a couple
Right.
is about trying to decide whether to end their marriage. So I wrote my dissertation about it. I spent a year studying it. And when I graduated in 2006, I just told myself, well, hell, I guess I'm going to have to be the one to go out there and tell everybody about this. I'm going to be the one to
Hell yeah,
I'm
queen.
going to have to fill that void, because the void was in our training, and other marriage therapists still to this day do not know how to deal with it. So that's what I'm doing
incredible.
now is, my book is about everything I learned and and also from the experience I've had developing this over 20 years. And now I'm trying to expand it too into training therapists so that it's very commonplace for a couple to be able to find someone to manage a marriage crisis. So I've developed this thing, and marriage and family therapists are very receptive to it. They're hungry to know about it. So,
I love that.
That is incredible.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's really good.
That is really
deal
good.
with marriages on the brink every single day that I work. Yeah. So it's
well, especially in this day and age with dating and people being like, oh, well, the next best thing is out there or whatever, not really trying to work on anything. And that's what people need.
Well, I think a lot of people have nagging doubts throughout the divorce decision process, and they're just not sure of themselves. And I make sure that we talk about every possible thing. So everything's been thought about, everything's been dealt with. And so, you're pretty well informed about what the possibilities are. And of course, every couple's unique. So I have to take into consideration their personalities, their capabilities, their mental illnesses.
100%. Yeah. I'm a walking mental illness.
Some people can and cannot change. Like a narcissist is never going to change. It's just the way it is. So, I'm dealing with all these different factors and stuff, but I feel like, we really help people make the wisest and best decision for their family. And then we show them how to implement whatever decision they make in the healthiest possible way. Always with the children in mind, of course.
Oh, 100%.
I love that. Yeah.
That's amazing. And just like seeing the passion, like when you speak about it, and this has been like a lifelong journey for you, and just knowing that you like genuinely care and you really want to get to like the root of what the issue is and to genuinely help people, because I think for a lot of therapists and, counselors and marriage, they're whatever marriage, but anyway, in general, it's just like it's just like, this is my job. This is what I do. I'll tell you the same thing that I tell these 20 other people, even though it might not fit the narrative.
There's so many.
So I think it's really great.
What was hilarious was in graduate school, there was like 10 people in every PhD cohort. So that means like every year they let in 10 people to their program. And of our group, I swear 60% of us got divorced while we were studying marriage and family.
No kidding.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That is
wild. A lot of our classes were us sitting around a big conference table, discussing relationship issues and stuff. And time again, I would say to myself, like, oh my God, that girl across the table is going to be someone's therapist. Oh my God. So a lot of people, they go learn the academic part of it, but they don't practice what they preach, believe me. And
I'm all
about practicing what I preach. Like the stuff I talk about, I believe in it so much that I do it also, of course, but I just know a lot of therapists are a mess. I have a lot of therapists in my practice that are talking to me, and they don't know a damn thing about how to have a healthy relationship.
Yeah. You're like, sit down.
Well, and like the human connection too, I feel like this is going to therapy. Like that's what people want. It's not like a cookie cutter thing. It's like, okay, like you were saying, you learn the personalities and like people just want to be heard and seen most of the time.
Yeah.
And if they feel like somebody understands them and like their brain just a little bit, not all the way, like I feel like it goes leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
Yes. There's all different styles of therapists you can imagine. Like I laugh a lot in my sessions, and
that's amazing.
In marriage crisis management, you have to be a coach, a director, And yes, I help them with their traumas and whatever obstacles that we encounter along the way. And if they have depression, I send them off to a doctor if we need to, or we work on the depression situation. And 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 I just believe so strongly in just being a mental health therapist, but being directive. I tell them what's healthy and what isn't. I teach them boundaries. I teach them how to have healthy self-esteem. So a lot of this stuff is just me teaching. I feel like I'm a professor. I'm a professor of relationships. Yeah, but so many therapists, y'all, I'm telling you, like they're going
I know. I've been to my fair share.
and they get to have a decent job, but I think a lot of people, and this is in every profession, right? They're not that into what they're doing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that was the point I was making, is that you can just see that you have this like burning passion for it, and that just speaks volumes to your character as a doctor and just as a person in general, because you obviously have this very caring presence about you as well. So that's just amazing. You don't often find that. I've been in and out of therapy most of my life, and so I've had my fair share of like good therapists and my fair share of like, okay, well, you got 10 more minutes. Like,
oh God, that's terrible.
We speed it a little bit, yeah. And so it's really nice to actually like meet somebody about like you that actually like cares and gives a damn. Is there anything else that you want to talk about before I get into like a couple of questions?
That's just how all of this came to be. You've got the basic fundamentals, and of course, as you've already learned, I'm completely obsessed with every aspect of relationships, whether it's coworkers, friends, family, siblings, children, whatever.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm that way a lot too. Like I am very like, I want to know why it's not working, or I want to know why a person is feeling a certain way, or like I'm very into psychology. So I'm like, want to understand why a person's brain is working the way that it is, or like why they can't make sense of something that I'm trying to tell them that's important to me, and vice versa. And so this is all just like so incredible to me, because I want to go into psychology. Like that's something I've always wanted to do. And yeah, I think it's really great that you have like really put the time in to get a good understanding and be able to give your point of view on these situations.
What you're telling me is that you're a very curious person, and I didn't realize what 100%. A rare trait that is. Always that kid in elementary school when they bring the policeman to the class, I'd go, how much money do you make? How many vacations?
Yeah. That is so hurt. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go over here.
I have all the questions. I want to know. It comes off almost as nosy sometimes, I think, because
but you are really just curious.
Yeah, I am just curious. I really want to know, like, if somebody tells me that they're like fighting with their significant other, I'm like, okay, well, what happened? And then they'll be like, oh, well, it was this, this, and this. And I was like, okay, but what else? And they're like uncomfortable because they don't want to tell me their whole life story. But I'm like, I like want to help. Like, I want to know why you're feeling these feelings, and vice versa. Because I'm just like so genuinely curious about it. I'm
genuinely curious, obviously, and that's why I went searching, and and plus I was also looking for the Holy Grail, which is, what is it to have a healthy relationship? What is that? Because nobody knows.
Yeah,
there's nobody shows us or teaches us what it is.
Right?
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead with your question.
I was just going to say, in your opinion, what builds like the strongest foundation between two people?
Well, you've got to have two healthy partners, that can mentally and emotionally take care of themselves and can financially support themselves. Because we don't want people to be in dependent relationships. That's not a healthy choice for any adult. You're putting, if you put
I
all
totally
in a
agree.
one-person basket, you're setting yourself up for a disaster.
We say that all the time.
So you have to
Yeah.
have a plan B set up. If you don't want to work, that's fine, but at least have some training or education where you could support yourself if you need to.
Yeah.
So we've got these, each person and their individuality is important to them. And then they have this relationship thing that's like a farm that they both take care of and nurture and keep stoked.
I love that analogy.
Yeah, that was a really great
So
analogy.
we're looking for two people that are capable of doing that. Okay. And with either one, both of them understanding that they are responsible for their own happiness, it's a boundary offense to try and control anybody else or try to change them. You're accepting your partner the way that they are. Not that you can't tweak things a little bit, but people aren't in general going to change that much. So, you've got a person of integrity, someone you can trust that does what they say they're going to do, and they don't betray you. You just feel that they've got your back and that they would be there for you come what may. That's what builds and creates the solid foundation for a potentially life-lasting relationship. But too many people don't have those traits.
Oh, I was going to say that's so hard to find.
It is. It's so hard to find.
It's so hard to find.
They're lazy about learning how to be a healthy human being. They're late. People don't practice good self-care,
Yeah.
No.
And a lot of people are very, very immature out there. And, have you ever noticed in the dating world when you dated boys and then you finally went on a date with a man and it was like a completely different animal. It's like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
1,000%.
So true.
Going from
I don't know what to do with my hands when that happens.
It's like going from brownies to Girl Scouts, It's like you're in a completely different league. But so many my clients will go they'll bring their boyfriend in and they're in their 40s and they'll go I can't get him to do this. I'm like, you're dating a boy. And even though he's 50, he's still a boy emotionally. 100%. So everyone that's listening to this podcast knows what I'm talking about. And there's girls and there's girls out there too. There's girls and there's women.
Yeah.
No?
It's so true. And we preach that all the time. We're like, this is not a gender thing. This is a human thing. There's little girls and then there's women. There's little boys and then there's men. Period. The end. It's not one or the other. It is all. All encompassing.
Yeah. So the word solid is a word I use a lot. When you're dating, you can see the red flags if somebody's solid or not. Oh,
100%.
Don't ignore red flags. You're like,
no, I ignore them.
She's like, it looks a little pink.
I've gotten way better. Way better.
Well, maybe we should do a whole episode on self-sabotage.
Okay, I was actually just going to say, so this episode, I would really like to talk about your book. I really want to get into your book. I would love to have you back on to talk about
all the things. Self-sabotage. That is my.
Why don't you make me a regular like Dr. Phil was on Oprah every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great idea.
I love this for us. We could do once a month and have you come on and just we'll have different things like self-sabotage or red flags in relationships or whatever. We could the list never ends.
No, it doesn't. And you having the knowledge.
Oh yeah.
Would be just so great.
We'll be here with our pen and the notepad and just okay, this is a free therapy session for us.
It's relationship school, it's what it is.
I love it.
That's what we can call it.
Oh, it's absolutely perfect. We'll do one segment a month of relationship school.
Yeah.
Dr. Becky. Relationship school.
Dr. Becky's back on to give us some more actual advice about relationships.
Not our advice.
Not our wet sponge advice. She's an actual doctor.
Segue. I saw this thing where it was about a Leo, because I'm a Leo and I sent it to you.
Oh, yeah, I
She
haven't
was
even
like,
done it.
"Oh yeah, I have the best advice, but I don't do it myself. Like I do all the bad things." And the girl says, "Do as I say, not as I do." And how many times have I freaking said that?
Oh, a
I've
million.
said that a million times.
Yeah.
I give the best advice, but I don't do it.
You know what?
The same.
Well, you just haven't had your heart kicked in enough. I think that when
Oh, I
I
have.
think when you get pulverized, and you're just like at death's door emotionally, you finally go, all right, I gotta stop. I
She
gotta
was.
stop throwing myself under the bus here.
Well, to be fair, that is why she stopped, is because she was at death's doorstep when it came to heartbreak and relationships. And then finally one day she was like, fuck this shit. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
And she pulled herself out of it. And now she's just this like strong, amazing, independent woman.
It took a while though.
It did take a while. Yeah.
So you're in the
Yeah.
5% of people that can make major shifts and changes, but the 95% of people out there are lazy about this. They're complacent.
Yeah.
They're miserable, but not miserable enough to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and that makes sense. It resonates
That does make sense.
with, I'm sure, all of our listeners, like even those who are single and even those who are married or those who, haven't dated or are dating or whatever. That's a very true statement for all.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want to talk about your book.
Yeah.
But I also want to talk to you about coming back on because I am so serious about that. I absolutely love you. You are so much
Thank you.
fun. You are so personable. And
I know.
you have amazing advice. And I would love to have you back on for sure.
Good vibes.
And
Oh,
totally
you
good
are
vibes.
so scratching my ego itch because,
Hey, listen, honey, you come back and we'll pump that ego all the
in
time.
grad school, I was the only right-brained student in the whole entire marriage and family therapy program. Because remember, I came from journalism.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You're curious. I'm curious. I was perfect as a journalist because I was so curious, right? And then I can still be curious in marriage and family therapy also.
Totally.
So anyway, when I was back to my book. Okay, so in graduate school, I told you I'd pull up all this research and stuff, and I've always been a writer, always. And so I wanted to combine the two subjects of relationships and then writing. And I had to write about this marriage crisis thing. It's one of those like divine intervention things where somebody just said you have to do this and you cannot die or leave the planet until this is done.
I love
So
that.
I started writing it off and on for 20 years.
Yes.
I love that.
And then I got to be in my 60s and I went, holy shit, I could die. Like, like that. Like time away.
Damn.
It's now or never. And sure enough, a lot of my friends in high school and whatnot, college and stuff that didn't take care of themselves, they're dying in their 60s.
You're right.
Freaking A.
You're like, there's following left and right.
So I just got deadly serious about it and spent two years. I wrote it with I had an editor just making sure that every chapter was what it needed to be. She is a book editor. And so she kept giving me this incredible feedback going, oh my God, this book is so amazing. So she really got me fired up. And then, I finished it after a year, and then we took us a year to sell it to somebody. And then you wait another year to get it published. Right. And so it finally came out in February. Like by the time your book comes out, you're so tired of it.
Oh, I'm sure you're like, I don't even want to look at the thing anymore.
Amazing. I can totally see that. Like 3 years, you're like, Jays,
Oh,
we're done.
So yeah, your book is called I Think I Want Out. And
show it again.
Yeah, show us the cover again. I have to tell you, when I was first sent this book, the cover is so catchy.
Yeah. No, I love it.
And it like makes me want to buy it because and the whole premise of it is amazing. But
That was, they let me have a lot of input on the cover, and I wanted the print, the font, and the cover and everything to be bright and upbeat.
I love that.
It just is like looks modern and professional, but still like tugs at your heartstrings a little bit, and it's very good. I love it.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Thank you. It's interesting because for the first time, so the book came out in February, and for the first time, I'm starting to see clients who found me through my book.
No
and
kidding.
It's such an interesting.
How rewarding is that?
I can't even describe it. But the beautiful thing about it is, before the book, people would find me on the internet and they're like, well, maybe she knows what she's talking about, or maybe she doesn't. But now, because of that book, everybody thinks I definitely know what I'm talking about. Not that I do know.
Fake it till you make it.
It's given me some legitimacy or something in my profession and in, with my clients.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know.
Yay.
I remember to that point of people like reaching out to you once they saw your book. I remember when people started reaching out to us after they listened to the podcast, and they are just like, you have helped me navigate this situation that I'm going through. And like, it's so nice to know that there are people out there and you're being so raw and real. And this has like changed my life. And it's like the most rewarding, amazing feeling.
It really
ever.
is. It's extremely gratifying. It's extremely gratifying. And I get emails from people because I write a blog too. I write a blog about every subject in relationships on demand, and it's tell it like it is. I pull no punches. And I'm teaching that my idea is like, okay, so I am, on the back end of life, and time's a wasting. So I'm trying to download everything I know onto my blog so that, after I'm gone, I can still be, teaching people.
Your legacy lives on, honey, and you're still
in a healthy
people.
direction. Hopefully with humor and making it fun. I hope entertaining and informative.
Oh yeah.
That's the best.
Yes, that's incredible. That's what we're all about. We're like, we want to talk about some real shit, but like, we're going to be funny at the same time, and we're going to be lighthearted, and we're just going to be us as we're doing it.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's awesome. You fit right in, girl.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask you some questions?
Please. I love it.
Okay. Awesome. So could you tell us, just give us like a little short description about what is in your book, or like the most important thing about your book?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a lot of people that are in marriage crisis, their nervous systems are activated. Okay, so they're in the fight, flight, or freeze response, which basically means they feel crazy and they feel like they're losing their mind. It's a panic state of mind. Okay. And when you're in that state of mind, you can hardly eat. Your body can't digest food. You cannot think rationally and stuff. And so while people are in this marriage crisis, they're all kicked up. I say their IQ drops by 20 points. I made that up.
I mean, sounds pretty accurate to me.
But really, they end up acting like the nastiest 15-year-old teenagers you've ever met in your life.
It's so true.
And so I come in and tell them, okay, here's what's going on. Like, this is a phenomenon, like a predictable phenomenon, and this is how you feel. And so, and if you don't take my advice, you're probably going to shoot up the town and have many regrets, and your kids may hate you and never come visit you again. So when they grow up.
Yeah. Do not. That's like my biggest fear.
It is. Every parent, dreads that. Like my own daughter hasn't visited me in 4 years right now. I'm starting to wonder.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We'll come and visit you, babe.
Yeah. I'm going to make her listen to this and make her feel
as you said.
Because I go visit her 2 or 3 times a year. She probably thinks I inflict myself on her.
We'll come visit you. Don't you worry, girl. We'll invade your space.
The book is, describes the phenomenon, and then it goes back and tells couples, like, here's how this happened. this is how you got in this
Yeah.
situation. So you're going to learn about the things that you need to correct in your life right now. You know, I also
Yeah.
teach people how to diagnose their marriage. And so I've got like the stages of a deteriorating marriage in there. It's like the stages of cancer, really. And when they
Yeah.
should come into marriage therapy, how, like what's going on when you should call somebody, and to not keep the, your misery and unhappiness to yourself, to speak out to your partner about it. Like a lot of my clients keep all
Yeah.
this unhappiness in their marriage a secret. So secrets kill marriages for sure. And
Yeah.
then and then I run
That
them
is
through a
so fair.
process, and I go over a bunch of common mental illnesses too, because if your spouse has got a mental issue, that's a huge consideration in whether you're going to want to save the marriage or not. And then, I walk them through this process of, here's how to know if you need to separate. Here's, or if you want to amicably divorce, here's how to do that. If you want to reconcile, here's how to do that, where you have the best chance of success. So I'm basically,
Yeah.
leading them through to understanding it, stabilizing, getting them to be stable, to start
Yeah.
growing individually, and then having these conversations about what's possible for your marriage.
I love that.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I love that you keep going back to, like, it really starts with you. Like, if you're not okay and you're not healthy and stable, how are you supposed to have a healthy relationship?
Cannot.
Yeah.
It's relationship physics. You cannot. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good
Then one
relationship,
person is putting in more
if
than
you
the
don't have
other.
a good relationship with yourself, then that's going to show up in your relationship, and it's going to be awful.
Oh, it's so true.
So true.
That is like, I think the number one thing, like if you are feeling a certain kind of way about yourself, like how are you going to like put that out into a happy, healthy, loving relationship? You can't. You have to be happy within yourself.
Think about it. If I marry my husband and I'm sitting there thinking I'm not good enough for him, he,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
not good enough for him. He's, so everything, like if he forgets to do something for me, I'm going to take it personally, because, the reason he didn't do that for me is because, I'm not good enough. Like, and there's just so many different ways in which it shows up in a toxic way in relationships. So I think each person in a relationship has to believe they're worthy of this. And we all are. There's I'm telling everybody out there is no question whether you're worthy. The problem is you may think you're not worthy. And if you do, you need to change that decision, because you're just believing a lie. But I have
It's so
people
true.
all the time that just are filled with negative assumptions about their spouse because they've got bad self-esteem. So I set my spouse is up to the worst possible thing because I'm no good. So of course they're cheating on me. Of course they're talking about me behind my back. Of course, no, if you're healthy, you don't have those kind of negative assumptions and whatnot. You think
Right.
So true.
It totally makes
believe
sense.
you
Yeah.
belong at the seat of that marital table as a full.
Oh my gosh. Put that in your book. That was perfect. You have to believe that you belong in the seat. Yeah. So another thing about your book, you talk about how to navigate a marriage crisis. Can you tell us more what you mean about or the meaning behind marriage crisis?
Marriage crisis can happen in one of two ways. One way is your spouse comes in the room and says something like, I think I'm unhappy. I think I want out. I think I want a divorce, something like that. And then, the moment those words are said, things will never be the same. They're not going to walk that back if they must muster up the courage to tell their spouse that. And the other way it can start is by you find out something just completely shocking about your spouse, like they were having an affair, or they're really gay, or, they spent all your money, all your saving, those kinds of bombshell things. I've had some clients where the husband gambled away, all their money, stuff like
Oh
that.
my
With
gosh.
these huge marital felonies. So that, and a
Ugh.
wife is thinking her husband's person A she loves and cares about, then she finds out he's person B. It's a real shock to the system. So that can send people into a marriage crisis and make people wonder if they want to be married to that person. It's sort of like, who are you?
Yeah.
You know that feeling?
Oh,
Who are
100%.
you? And you're married to
Yeah.
scary.
That has to feel like that has to be such like a betrayed feeling too, like of just like, how have I been married to you for 10 years and I'm just finding this thing out and now I feel like I don't know you at all. And that has got to just feel so
No, I
awful.
get
Have
phone calls
you-
from clients sometimes where they don't even say hi, Becky. They just go,
Oh no.
because they're in crisis
If
mode,
they
right?
just found out
Yeah.
one of those bombshell things,
Ugh,
and it's devastating.
it is.
Have you ever had a relationship come back from that kind of thing?
Yeah,
Those big
Yeah.
bombshells? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
some
incredible.
people after
is
the
incredible.
initial shock, and let's say, let's, I'm thinking specifically of a couple that I worked with that were in their 60s, and he had gambled away their life savings, their 401k, and so they were just going to be
Oh my
living
God.
on Social Security instead of being secure financially.
Oh my goodness. That gives me
I
chills.
met
That's
with their whole
crazy.
family, their grown children, and the children thought my mom's going to kill him. She's going to murder him, and she's
Oh, I bet.
because I met with the kids first, and then I met with the parents, and the
Yeah.
parents surprised the kids. The mom said, "No, I'm not. I care about him enough. I'm gonna stick through this, and we're gonna
Stick it out. Oh my gosh.
So she forgave him.
Wow.
But now the kids
So
have the, what do you call it? Attorney privileges, where you control their
the power of attorney stuff. Yeah.
So the kids now control
yeah.
their money.
I mean, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure does.
So, in your opinion, like when something like that does happen, like this big, huge, tragic event, and the significant other is like, okay, I forgive you, but they're using it as like ammo in future arguments. Like that's not really
forgiving.
going anywhere still, right? Like I'm in the belief of like, if you forgive somebody and you truly forgive what they've done, like you just don't talk about it anymore.
Well, I feel like it takes a while to work through that. You can't just say I forgive you and
No, I'm talking like to use as ammunition in like future arguments.
right.
Yeah.
But I've known people who have been like, yeah, I forgive you, but then they do bring it up. It's like, no, you haven't gone through the process of actually forgiving me
Yeah.
to not bring it up anymore.
Right. Yeah.
A sure way to kill vulnerability in a relationship is to throw things back in your partner's face that happened when you were vulnerable, when, doing, like your worst shames. And, it's like some people, I don't know if you've ever dated somebody who turned out to be abusive, but if you have, many a times you share vulnerabilities in the courting process of the relationship when you've got your walls down and you're really sharing and they're receiving it in a really neat way. And then months or whatever later, they throw that one of those things back in your face, which is your first warning sign that they're abusive. Anyone that would do that is abusive, everybody. Okay. So like run the hills. But yeah.
Run away
to the run
my
farm.
book, I write about the concept of getting zinged. And what getting zinged means, okay, so when I first fell in love with you, I had all my walls down and I was like goo all over you. And I had I'm just all the way out there and vulnerable. And you one day said something to me that hurt me so bad that I was like, whoa, I'm not safe anymore. I'm going to have to protect myself from this guy that I'm falling in love with. So you put your wall up And most people make the mistake of never bringing the wall back down. And part of the art of having a healthy relationship is we're all going to get zinged. Our spouses are going to say things that, hit where it hurts.
Yeah, it's true.
But you've got to get over that hump and take your wall back down again so y'all can connect again. Many people, once they got zinged in their marriage, they put the wall up and they never come back out. They will not be vulnerable again.
Yeah. So to that point, actually, do you think that it's possible if like a person falls out of love with their significant other to be able to fall back in love with them?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
I'm
like, oh,
she's the worst. I'm like the wall. I'm
the thing is,
and she's like,
many times people think they're not in love anymore when their in love feeling is hibernating for the winter, and
okay, no, that totally makes sense.
and so I think marriages and relationships go through major phases, and there's a concept called normal marital hatred, it's, if you're going to make it through a good marriage over the lifespan, you will be white knuckling it part of the time. Okay. And so you're going to go through all the seasons, the fall and winter where the chill is in the house, and then spring comes again. So I think a lot of people tend to run too fast when their relationship gets chilly. And then, you're raising your head. And think, well, that's it. I don't love them anymore. And then maybe you realize,
I'm like, well,
maybe you realize later on that, you were just going through a bad time in your life right then. And your feelings.
Yeah. I mean, I also think I'm a little dead inside.
Obvious feelings of warmth for that person were buried for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. So are there any tips or strategies that you have for anyone that's going through a marriage crisis?
Yes, don't do it alone. And I'm dead serious. I mean, not just because I have a book, not because I'm a marriage crisis manager, but I just think that especially if you have kids, don't try to manage this yourself. Just don't do it. It's big. I mean, I cannot tell you the damage that you can do, lifelong damage you can do to your family. And yourself, if you don't have some professional advice. So, and one of my pet peeves is how reluctant so many people are to go to a marriage therapist. I even had a family member call me about their marriage problem, and I said, "What the hell's wrong with you? Get your ass to a marriage therapist now!" And they said, I thought things had to be really, really bad to go to a marriage therapist. I'm like, no, all you got to do is be seriously disgruntled. Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
If you're seriously disgruntled, go to the damn marriage therapist. And believe me, you're not going to be able, you don't wait till your marriage is half dead. And then it's next to impossible for the therapist to help you revive it.
Oh, totally.
I've known people who have gone to therapy like dating. I think it's just like
they do.
Yeah, it's an amazing tool. It's the first piece of advice that I give to anybody going through problems in their marriage. I'm like,
not even problems, but just like, how do we, like, maybe their communication styles are different, and it just like kind of helps.
I think we have a PR problem though, that they should really call it relationship school. Don't you think that would?
I agree with that. We're going to go to school, not therapy.
We need to go to relationship school.
Everybody does. Everybody.
Oh my gosh. That's why we're going to have relationship school once a month with Dr. Becky.
Right. That's right.
I would absolutely love that. Oh my gosh. Okay. So what is the main message that you would like to give your readers and our listeners? What's the biggest takeaway from your book, I Think I Want Out?
I think, knowledge is power, and being informed about there's so many dynamics to marriage crisis. I couldn't even begin to describe them all. So many facets to it. but like in my book, I explain all of it, and you are going to make an intelligent and wise decision because of this, and therefore that's going to help you have peace later on. The people that just rush a divorce, divorce prematurely, a lot of people do that. And then later on, they're like, oh, what the hell did I do? Why did I do that? And so, I think that, if you have a professional who cares about this, families, because my kids suffered after my divorce with their dad so much, if I could keep one family from going through what my kids did, and like their dad didn't want to be nice to me after the divorce. And so, and my daughter to this day, she's 35 and says, my number one wish in the whole entire world is that you and Dad would get along. Well, I can't make him like me. He probably likes me even less since I wrote this book. Because
I mean,
we all have those.
It was his and my marriage that inspired this, So,
yeah. Oh, I'm sure we have some enemies about this podcast. So what are you going to do? We're just living our best life out here. We can't care what anybody else thinks.
So yeah, I mean, you're doing all your due diligence in an intelligent way, and you are going to know that you did all you could to do the right thing by your family. And that's what every couple tells me they need to have peace of mind. I need to know I did everything I could.
Yeah, that's
sometimes
so amazing.
Marriages have to, and they really need to end. I have told people before, it's time to shoot the horse. Like it's not going to make it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I have clients whose marriages are so bad. They're so bad and have so many terrible things going on in it, just egregious, awful things. And I will say to the man or the woman, what the hell would make you leave? They've done every horrible thing.
Is there anything that could actually make you leave?
Exactly. And 99 times out of 100, they'll go, maybe nothing. And I go, all right, well, at least we know what we're dealing with here. You're a do or die person, man.
Wow.
I don't recommend.
No kidding. Talk about
I think that's terrible self-care myself.
I would have to agree.
It is. I mean, you're allowing this like mental, physical, emotional abuse to happen, and you're not going to do anything about it. So
cheating, abuse,
even with the therapist telling you, this probably isn't right.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have just one more question, then we can get things wrapped up. I've been having so much fun. I just looked at the time and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I can't believe it. It is almost time.
Time flies when you're having fun. Okay, so what advice do you have for couples who would like to work on their marriage? So again, you already said like going to marriage therapy, but are there things that people can do at home? Like, let's say they can't get into a marriage therapist, or they refuse to, or whatever. Are there any things that you can think of?
Yes. I mean, like for example, I write a blog on Medium,
Oh yeah.
blog. And I'm downloading everything I've ever learned onto that blog and putting it in there. So you have that. I make YouTube videos about everything I can think of that people need to know.
That's amazing.
And then I was trained by two fabulous mentors. People will read their books. It can be life-changing, okay? And so for your own individual health and well-being to get started on that path of being as healthy as you can be mentally and emotionally, Pia Mellony's Facing Codependence. And she just died like May 7th. She's a genius. She wrote this book and she's changed the world. And she's basically created the model for how we deal with trauma. And what trauma does is makes us emotionally immature. And we go back to what we were talking about, so many immature people in relationships. because of childhood trauma. So you're going to want to grow yourself up so you can have healthy relationships. And she's ground zero for that. And then my other mentor is in the couples realm, and he studied with Pia Melody, as did I. And then he developed a model for couples based on her model, so it's just beautiful. And he's very popular and hot right now. He's been in the New York Times numerous times recently. His last book, Us, the foreword was done by Bruce Springsteen. So you probably know who Bruce Springsteen's marriage therapist was. Yeah. It was Terry Real. And I make all my couples listen to his audio book, Fierce Intimacy, as a unbelievable place to start. I can't tell you the feedback I get from my clients about that audiobook. It's amazing. It's jaw-dropping.
We will link it in the description.
It has saved so many marriages. I let Terry Real do the work for me sometimes.
That's amazing. You know what? Just read this book and then come back to me. That is incredible. Gosh, I feel like there's so much that we didn't get to talk about.
We're gonna have her on monthly.
I would absolutely. I am so serious. I want to talk about like intimacy and relationships and all of the. I want to talk about so much.
Yeah. Just the tip of the iceberg.
It has literally just been the tip of the iceberg. It was such an honor to have you on. We're going to wrap things up. So if you want to share where people can buy your book, if you want to share your platforms that you use, and then we will also link everything into the description as well.
So much. Yeah, you can get my book online at any bookseller, Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart, Amazon, and you can get it in audio or digital or paperback. And by all means, check out my website at marriagecrisismanager.com. I do offer support groups in there for people can drop in at any time and talk to me about their relationship. So I do that on Tuesdays. Yeah.
That is incredible.
No, I do it on Thursdays. I'm sorry. I see therapists who give me their cases on Tuesdays. And then Thursdays, I see lay people, just the regular population can pop in. And if they want to ask anything, then, or tell me about their marriage crisis or whatever, I'll answer it. So,
so the
blog, and I think that's about it.
Okay, great.
And we'll link everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, I also have a list of all of your resources, your blog, your website, all the things. And so I will link everything in the description. I will link your book and add you. But is there anything else that you would like to talk about or touch on before we end today's episode?
Don't y'all want to ask me about your relationships?
Well... I do not have one. I was married twice, 10 years each. I am in the dating world, but I just don't want to be in a relationship. I just don't care.
I love relationship apathy. I love it. I wish more people had it. Because people are out there dating without a license. They don't know what the hell they're doing,
Oh, 100%. Maybe that's why I don't want to date right now, is because I have been there. I have done that. I have done all the things. And I'm just like, meh.
We've been in the dating scene on the dating apps for 3 years. Yeah. And so we've seen it all. We've done it all. I feel like I recently got into an exclusive relationship with somebody very new. But before that, it just... Well, 2 long-term relationships that ended badly.
Let me tell you another good subject for y'all to talk about is how women don't let men work hard enough to earn our love.
Yeah.
It's because women are so desperate for
Well,
love.
it's just it's pathological. You know,
It is. It's
I
biological.
want women to rise up and tell the men, you know, that when a man comes a knock and it's not like and when I was in my 20s, girls were like, "Do you like me? Do you like me? Does he like me? Does he like me?" That's just pathological. Instead, I want us women to look at men and say, "What have you got that I want?" You know.
That is me to a T. I am that person, which is probably why I am not
If you're
dating
not
as
going to
much.
enhance my life,
I am
if you're not going
very
to enhance my
straightforward.
life by 9,000%, then move on down. Yeah.
That is me,
It's
1,000%.
That's not why you're not dating a guy. It's because the guys that you're dating are boys, not men.
Oh, well, true.
And they can't
but,
step
like,
up to that.
I can't make the men come to me.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is like,
Yeah, I just
no, she demands a lot, which is amazing and incredible. And she has taught me to find that within myself too, because you as a 20-year-old, does he like me? Does he like me? I'm going to conform to this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do all these things. And like, just got hurt every single time, or like burned every single time, or, you know, they would go after somebody else because I was just like so eager. And I have changed that, not all the way, but I have changed that a bunch. And it has been incredible to see the quality of men that I've dated since changing that.
yeah.
And it's still like a hard thing for me within to not be like, oh, let me do this for you and let me do that for you. Cause I'm like, it's so ingrained in my brain. I think especially in the state of Utah. I mean, we can get into that later, but like to rewire my brain to be like, no, you should be working for me.
Yeah.
Like not the other way around.
Exactly. So I just wish women knew their value, and I would leave women with this idea. Y'all do not know the power we women have over men. Y'all listen, you know they'd be hanging out with their dude friends 24/7 if it wasn't for the fact that we make them feel a feeling that they cannot get anywhere else. And that's why they fool with us in the first place, is because it's like a cat purring. They get in our female energy and they just bask in it, and they need it and they want it. And so, you know, just don't tell yourself, you know, that you're not as powerful as you are. And every time I say this in front of men, they all they nod their heads. That's absolutely true. I can't live without that female essence. You know, I want to be around it. I gotta have it in my house. I gotta live, you know, this is why they're with us.
That totally makes sense.
So realize what you have and treat that as the powerful tool it is, and precious, and be judicious, like a conservative with it. Like not every man gets to have access to that.
Amen, honey.
Yeah.
It's true.
I love that.
I know. I love it too.
Oh.
That's absolutely incredible. That's like the best piece of advice. And I love that you said that. So thank you so much. That was absolutely amazing. Yeah, I just date random people.
I did too for a while. It's okay.
I'm just like, it's whatever.
You know, just so everybody knows, I want everybody to know that if I was out in the dating world right now, I could still marry and divorce again. I could still end up with the wrong person.
Yes. Like how are you supposed to know everyone's out there like fluffing their feathers and like doing their best to like put on the happy dance and make you think that they're this person that they're not? I can't. I've been married twice. I don't want to do it.
I'm just saying, like, I do know a lot of stuff about mental health and relationships. I do. And so I'm much better at the selection process than I was before. I could still end up with somebody that I'm unhappy with. I could still possible. So I don't want you to think that just because, you know, a marriage therapist or some relationship guru out there that's talking on Instagram and they're talking about all they've learned, and they could be dating the wrong person right now. As far as you know, you do not, like, you know.
Yeah,
I love that you said that.
It's
Yeah.
well, because
Yeah.
it's true.
Very
And
true.
we can't control too the wild card, which is the other person. Because people will say, why
Yep.
does a marriage therapist ever get divorced? Well, you know why?
Yeah.
First of all,
We can't control everybody around us.
change after you marry them. And
Yep.
the other
So true.
and the other thing is, if my spouse decides tonight that he wants to divorce me, then I'm going to get divorced. I mean, because it's, that's,
Yeah.
I can't control if somebody wants to divorce me. So,
Yeah.
that's how marriage therapists end up divorced,
Yeah.
is we get divorced.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Um, okay. I think, is there anything else you want to touch on before
Think of it.
We are having you
before
back
I
on
send you an
monthly.
entire spreadsheet of things I want to talk about with you in upcoming episodes?
Oh my God, so many
You got
things. We want to talk
All
about
of
so
the
many
things.
things.
Oh my gosh, I have a plethora of things to talk about.
Write them down.
For real. Okay, well, thank you again for coming on. It was such an honor. It was so much fun hanging out with you. You're an absolute joy to talk to and be
Thank
around.
you.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about before we
We talk about my cow.
hit
You know
the
what I'm talking like,
Sure. Okay, is there anything else that you want to talk about, Karina?
No, I just love you so much.
I love you too, babe. Ba-ba-da-da.
Woo.
I can't- you said you were nervous, which is, a very amusing to me. Good, good, good. Well, as you're looking for subjects, go look at my blog because I think you're going to see some stuff on there that tickles you, makes you want to talk about it. Yeah, absolutely. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to.